Hello, everybody. Welcome to the FutureDDS Dental School Experience Series, where we help you decide which dental school is right for you. Now, every school is unique and will provide you with a different experience. And we thought who better to explain to you what a school has to offer than the student who actually goes there. Our goal in this series is to give you a first-hand perspective of every dental program in America and ultimately help you make the right decision. Today, we'll be showcasing Imani Baron, who is a D1 at Case Western Reserve University School of Dental Medicine. How are you doing today, Imani?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fine. I'm doing fine. Thank you for joining us today.
Of course, anytime.
Thank you. Thank you. So, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you went to undergrad, and why you became interested in dentistry.
Yeah, so I came from San Jose, California, and I actually went to Case Western for undergrad, and I loved it so much that I decided to stay for dental school. I kind of started as pre-med when I came to Case undergrad, and then I just decided to walk across the street to the dental school and check it out. And I just walked into students, faculty, and they just changed my mind instantly, and I love the decision ever since. So.
Okay, great, great. So, quick question. A lot of our viewers always ask, like, did you do any summer programs or anything like that?
Yeah, so actually, so when I first checked out the dental school, I was kind of interested, and then they told me something about this program called SMDP. I think it's changed to SHEP or something like that, but it's basically like a summer program for students who are interested in medical or dental. And it's like a 6-week program, and you basically get to go to any dental school or medical school that offer the program in the country. And I was at Case Western during the summer of, I think it was 2016. So it was between my sophomore and junior year of undergrad. And I went to the program as pre-med and walked out as pre-dent. So I owe it to all my mentors and the faculty at Case to kind of help me realize my new career path.
Right. That's great because that kind of like my journey a little bit. Even though I wasn't sold on med, I just kind of went into the program with an open eyes, just an open mind to what I could experience. And after leaving that program, I did mine at ULA. After doing that, that's when I was like, dental school all the way. That's great.
Sure.
Yeah. So for everybody who doesn't know, can you kind of explain the city that your dental school is in? Like, what city is it? What's the area around the dental school kind of like?
Mm-hmm. So Case Western is in Cleveland, Ohio. I know people always look at me like, you're from California, why'd you end up in the Midwest? Yeah, it's pretty snowy, and yeah, there's gray skies, that honestly, Cleveland surprised me like no other. I love Cleveland so much. It's kind of just a melting pot of all cultures and just basically all things to do. It's up in the north, and I feel they have all 4 seasons, and I feel at Case Western, since we're in kind of a university circle, and we have undergrad and grad and all these master's programs, that they kind of built this campus kind of in this little bubble outside of downtown, which is filled with cool restaurants, museums, and just other things that students can do when they do get free time. And I feel my area is kind of just it's on the safer side, not the safest, but I feel you can get around easy with transportation and everything, and people there are super friendly. And yeah, so I think it's probably the most prime location, especially for school.
Okay. And so how big is your class size? And what is your class size?
So our class size for my D1 class is 75 people. And I think every class is kind of the same, give or take 1 or 2 people. So then our total dental school has 300 students. And I really love the small class size because I feel you have more close attention with the faculty and also your other students, especially since you're with them literally every second of your life. So I really do like that small intimate class size for sure.
And so do y'all take any classes with the medical students, or is it just completely separate?
So we are completely separated. Next year, Case Western, we're actually moving into a new building across the street from the Cleveland Clinic. And it's kind of to enhance interprofessionalism. So it's basically this huge building that encompasses med students, physical assistant students, nursing students, and obviously dental students. So we'll be all under one roof, but we're still divided in each corner of the room. But then we have integrated student lounges and everything. So our curriculum is not combined, but I feel more of our social time will be more so together.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay, so besides you going to Case undergrad, what were some of like the key things that really made you say, hey, you know what, I want to stay at Case for dental school?
Hands down, it's the people. Like, I really always tell people to visit the school and kind of feel that vibe. Like when you talk to the faculty members and you talk to the students and see like how you feel, because like it was them that got me kind of switching from medicine to dental, and it was them that got me to even consider Case. I just feel like that everyone is just so relaxed and also really connect with you in a personal level and actually like remember who you are. And they also like would drop anything to help you no matter what, especially like the upperclassmen. Like even me in my interview, I feel like that they would help me through anything I like was going through in terms of like the application process, my dental school journey, and all of that. So I feel like that was like the biggest reason why I definitely chose Case.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of dental schools aren't like that, you know. So
Right.
right, so if you're able to have that, it's definitely a positive, definitely.
Super important.
All right, so let's go back. You know, everybody always asks about the interview day. If you can
Okay.
you walk us through your interview day?
Yeah. So at Case, we probably have the most relaxed style of interviewing. It's like 2 30-minute interviews. So literally you just walk in, you sit in a room, you get called by the admissions director. You get sent to a room, you talk to one person for 30 minutes, you go back to the waiting room, someone else calls you up, talk to that person for 30 minutes. Then you go to like a nice lunch with like some of the dental students, get a tour, financial presentation, and call it a day. I feel like it was the most relaxed format of an interview. And like within the interview, the people can ask you basically any question. So I know people are out here like practicing like, okay, I need to know my flaws, I need to know my strengths, like I need to know like if I was stuck in a bus, what should I do for like you know what I mean? So like these like situational questions, but honestly they just ask me, so like, oh, like I see you do this and this, like elaborate, or like talk like why are you here from California, you know? So it's kind of more so looking at your application and kind of wanting you to like elaborate. But I mean, it depends on the interviewer, but I think it was super relaxed and I walked out feeling super calm and kind of confident that I feel like I see myself here for sure.
Okay, okay, and you know, a lot of people want to get to that interview stage, you know. So right now, people are already kind of prepping on what they're going to put on their application. So I wanted to ask you, if you know, is there one thing that Case really looks at, like with regards to applications, like is it community service? I think is Case big on research. Like, what do they really look at?
I think the biggest thing to look at is well-roundedness. So
Okay.
it's not so much that like you can definitely excel in academics and excel like in your DAT, but they also want to see you excel in your community and to see kind of like your story and your upbringing. I feel like they kind of emphasize like they want to see you fit in well with the class. So they kind of look at the interviewer, they look at the interviewees and they see, okay, like which 75 can I see like mesh well together? And I think that all comes down from like well-roundedness. I know there's some talk about like DAT scores are kind of now seen kind of at a higher priority. Like I know they kind of like talked about seeing kind of in the 20 range. Um, but I think that's like a new thing now. And I think just like manual dexterity is pretty good as well. Just like if you can cook, do guitar. Granted, I didn't put anything down because I didn't even know how to use my hands for
Right,
anything.
right.
So I think it just depends. I just think as long as you kind of touch on all aspects of like who you are and kind of what makes a well-rounded individual, then you'll be fine. And then kind of getting that personal statement, not so much to be like about like, oh, this is why I'm going to be a great dentist, but it's like, this is my upbringing and this is the reason why like this upbringing is like making me like why I'm here today and like why I think that would just like make me successful in dental school and beyond. So
Okay. Okay. So I want to like ask you a quick little side note.
yeah.
So you said that you had never really did anything with your hands before dental school.
Yep.
Okay. So do you think, I mean, granted you're here now, but you know, I think some people are actually nervous about that. Some people are like, oh my gosh, I have to practice piano. I have to learn how to carve a bar of soap beforehand. Like, do you think any of that's like really necessary, or is it like is it good practice? Like, should people worry about that before they come in?
So I would definitely like the summer before going into your D1 year. Like I wouldn't do that like before you apply because like they don't really the schools won't see like oh carb barb soap before
Right.
like before you apply. No. So like to prepare for you to go and for your first day, like I would highly encourage you to like kind of get in the lab or have like an upper year show you kind of like the tips and tricks to get you kind of like used to holding a drill and waxing a tooth and just all those things that I feel like I was thrown in like the first day and was like, okay, here's a sharp instrument, make that. I
Right.
mean, granted, I like discovered that I love using my hands and I feel like I'm a slower learner than others, but I think it's not like required for you to like prepare beforehand. Like if you just like sit in class, like practice like a couple days a week and like get help from upperclassmen, like you'll be set. Like this is literally coming from someone who doesn't even like use her hands
Right.
like at all, like no music, no art, nothing. So and I mean I'm passing, so
Right. Right.
like
See, I think a lot of people will be relieved to hear that, because I
oh
never,
yeah,
even I was stressed beforehand. Granted, I had done like a couple things with my hands, but I know some other people that I was applying with were just saying that they were woodsmen, like woods crafters, and they were doing all this extra stuff. And I was just like, whoa, like I've never done anything like that. So I'm sure
right.
people are excited to hear that that's not a necessity, coming right out.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
so me and you both know that dental school can be extremely, extremely stressful. What are
Right.
some of the ways that you kind of stay sane throughout the dental school process?
I consider myself like a social butterfly. Like I feel like I always want to be around people. Like I'm not the type of person that would like lock myself up like in a library for like more than like 3 hours. Like I always make sure that like I when I see my schedule, like I block out like studying time and then like a break time, and usually that break time would be with people. And I also like to give rewards like to myself like at the end of the day, especially if I would decide to study on a Saturday night. Like I would make sure that I spend like Saturday night or any night, I guess, just like around people because I feel like if I am like kind of trapped in an environment that I know that I have to study forever, like I will go insane.
Right.
Um, Also, another thing for me is definitely like extracurriculars. Like as a D1, like I got involved in so many or like got involved in so many organizations that kind of encouraged me to like, get out of the house and do community service, attend meetings, like lead an event, attend an event. So I think like that is also like a good mix in your day. And I think that kind of gets your mind off of like the academic side of dentistry. Because at the end of the day, like, yes, study academics, like get good grades, but like your first year and you want to see what the dental school has to offer outside of academics. So you should really go outside and just meet new people, explore new places, like even join new clubs. Like I think that'd be like super worthwhile for your time.
And so that's huge because there's so many students will say the exact opposite. They'll say that
Right.
my first year, all I did was academics because I wanted to ensure I have a good GPA and things like that nature. But I mean, sometimes, or a lot of the time, actually taking a break will increase your test scores, because you're not just driving yourself crazy. So, okay, so I definitely agree with you on that. So does your school kind of promote wellness? Do they have any programs that, because I mean, the whole work-life balance thing is huge, right? So does your school actually kind of like note this and like bring attention to this?
Yeah, so it's definitely through the extracurricular. So, like as the American Student Dental Association, like that's in every school, and I feel like it's a student-run organization. I think the school kind of fosters that culture where they want students to take lead and and they create like little committees to make sure that like students are kind of getting each area of their dental school experience covered. So, like there's a community service committee where like, making sure that if students want to go out in the community and serve like the population, they can do that. And then there's also health and wellness committees. So like I know like this, I think it was this Friday, we're gonna have like massage like masseuses, I guess, at our student lounge, and they also have like kind of they serve as breakfast sometimes for especially if D1s have a hard exam that day. Like I feel like a lot of the students kind of promote like this culture of like don't worry, like, you can get through this, and here are resources that we will provide you. And yeah, and they also provide, again, like a lot of opportunities for students to be able to like give back and like to also give like stress, like kind of relieve stress on other students as well. So I think the school does a really good job. And also we have social fraternities as well, where it's kind of just a culture of just like hanging out with people of all grades and just doing just like several activities together, whether it is Friendsgiving or going downtown, like anything. So I think it's just up to like, it's up to the dental student to decide what they want to do. But I strongly encourage for them to take advantage. Like if you are not someone who is kind of like social or out of like that comes out of their shell, like I would strongly encourage just one day, just go to an event led by the school and just check it out, because you never know. So
Hey, and that's how we actually met. We met at the ASDA conference
yeah,
last semester. So you meet great people going to these things. So definitely, if you can't get involved, you should definitely get involved. Definitely. But all right.
explore, especially early on.
Early on, definitely, definitely, especially when things aren't that hard. Because things get worse, you know. I think things continue to get, not want to say worse, but they get more difficult, you know, and that's just the dental school trajectory. But okay, so clinic. Are you in clinic yet?
Yeah, so another reason why I decided to go to Case was because they throw in their D1s in the clinic first semester. So I got to actually wear gloves and see patients, what was it, in November?
Wow.
And I went to, yeah, I went to elementary schools and we put sealants on kids. And it was the best experience I've ever had. Because one, I also do like kids, and I'm thinking about peds. So like that's another thing. But then another thing is just the fact that like like 3 months into dental school, and like these kids are trusting me with like my instruments. And even though it's just painting like a coat on their tooth, like it just makes you feel like you are literally changing lives, which you actually are, because a lot of these kids are obviously coming from low income and they really need that extra like that extra barrier from these germs and all these cavities. So like you're making a huge impact just like 3 months into school. So then this semester I'm actually seeing patients and like doing cleanings. So like I'm literally seeing people from the community and they trust me for some interesting reason. And it was literally just me practicing on like fake teeth models. And then all of a sudden there's a patient in my chair and I'm like, hi, I'm 6 months deep into dental school and here's a sharp instrument going in. And I was nervous at first, but I thought it just got me more excited just to continue through this dental school career. Cause I'm like, yes, like I can do this. Like, this is exciting. I'm already getting the benefit that I wanted of like feeling like I'm serving my community and I'm already helping them out. So I really just do appreciate that opportunity early on to really like get back to my community dentistry. So
See, and that's huge. I think that's very unique for Case. You know, like I don't think there's that many dental schools who throw you
yeah,
into the clinic your first year. So I know I mean, granted, we assist or we do assist, but I think even now I still haven't seen my own patient. You know, so that's huge. That's great though. And so you've mentioned the clinic. You've mentioned the people at the school. Is there anything else that, you know, just has made your entire experience at Case just something extremely unique and that you just love, you know, and you're like, you know what, this is why I came to Case. Do you have an experience like that? Or?
yeah, I mean, I basically kind of like touched upon all of that. I think it's just so much like they just give you freedom. I think the biggest thing with Case is that like they're just like, hey, okay, they're like, okay, here's this, run with it, do what you want with it. Here's some mentors, here's the curriculum, like run with it. And sometimes it could be scary to a lot of people, but I really appreciate it because it just shows how much trust they have in us, because they got us here in the first place for a reason. Like they saw that like for example, like myself, like they could see me being like independent through dental school and like willing to like just like go through this journey and kind of like take whatever is given to me and make something unique out of it. So, and I feel like I've done that, and I'm already in school for like 7, 8 months, and I feel like I'm like soaring through, not really actually, but you know what I mean? Just like, I feel like I'm going with the flow. Like it's
Right.
pretty,
You're at a good
pretty,
pace,
yeah, good pace.
right? And you know, them instilling that confidence, that's awesome, you know, because like we said,
Yeah.
I've heard of different schools who might not do that, you know, so to hear that they do it is great. So, Imani,
Yes.
any last advice for maybe a student who doesn't even want to go to Case or isn't thinking about Case, just anybody applying to dental school in general? What's like one last golden nugget that you would give them with regards to applying to dental school?
Right. Do not freak out when you get your DHT score back, when you see your science GPA, when you see your academic GPA. Like, if you guys see my transcript, it's kind of very different from everyone else in the class. I feel like everyone has a unique transcript, I guess, and unique scores. But honestly, who you are is basically what you do. Like, yes, in academics, but honestly, outside, like your upbringing when growing up, what you've done in high school, in undergrad, like whatever school doesn't see that, you don't need them, honestly. Like, it's the schools that really see beyond the scores are the ones that you should be attending, because that just shows that their priorities are set differently, and I think that's super important. And also, and if you think your grades are not good enough for a gap year, I would honestly try not to do gap year unless you need it for some some sanity, or undergrad was a lot, let me just chill, or I need to make more money, that's fine. But if you're taking gap year solely for grades, I would still call up schools. Oh yeah, another thing is get yourself in the door before you even open up the application. I think you should I've done phone meetings, I've walked in the dental school, had meetings with the dean of admissions, talked to dental students and stuff like that. And they just made me feel more comfortable about kind of the scores I've been getting, my grades, and just my extracurriculars in undergrad, and just kind of giving me a sense of what to expect if I were to be a student. Mm-hmm. And also they just see your face and they know who you are. So when it comes to granting an interview, some of it could be an easy shoo-in because they know who you are. And I think I was in a situation like that for one school. And I was granted enough to even see the school and to kind of get more practice in my interviewing skills and all of that. But I would honestly get out of your comfort zone, go to schools, approach them, and also do not get freaked out by the numbers at all, because you are not a number. You're literally more so of who you are as a human being, which is definitely again, upbringing, extracurriculars, all that jazz. So
beautifully said. Thank you, thank you so much, Imani. If you wouldn't mind, in any way, the viewers who do have questions for you can reach out and contact you.
Yeah. So my case email is ijb23@case.edu. And then I have Instagram. It's Imani_Jacqueline, but with 2 E's. And then what else? My Facebook is just my first and last name, Imani Behrens. And yeah, I'm really big on mentor mentee, and literally don't even if it's 100 view, go for it. Book my inbox, blow up my IG, all of that. I love helping you guys through anything, because this process should not be stressful. It should be probably the most fun, exciting opportunity for you guys to even be able to get to the next chapter of your life. So happy to help.
Great. Well, we appreciate you so much, Imani, for joining us today. And we want to say thank you from us as FutureDDS, as well as for sure all of our subscribers want to say thank you as well. So once again, thank you, because we know you're very busy.
Well, thank you for having me.
No problem.
This is exciting.
Everybody, if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button below. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know whenever we post new content. But until next time, see y'all later.